What's up, guys? Evan Jarvis here, and today I want to talk about something exciting happening at 888 Poker this Sunday. Yeah, tomorrow. There's an old debate about whether or not more rake is better, and one thing's for certain, no rake is best. On request of the players and after some great feedback from last weekend, 888 Poker is bringing back RakeLESS Sunday, which means you can play their Sunday majors and pay no rake. Yes, zero rake. That means to turn a profit this Sunday at 888, you don't need your usual 7 to 11% return on investment to beat the rake. If your ROI is 1% or higher, then your EV this Sunday at 888 Poker is in the green. So let's go team. The events included in RakeLESS Sunday spread from small stakes to high stakes. They've got events for all bankroll sizes. The small events, as we look at the schedule here, include the $7 buy-in progressive knockout with 10K guaranteed, the $20 mini mega deep with 25K guaranteed, and the $20 mini late mega deep with 10K guaranteed. For the mid-stakes grinders out there, there's the $80 buy-in Sunday progressive knockout with 20K guaranteed, and the $100 Sunday challenge, a personal favorite of mine since I've won it before, which is got a 25K guarantee. And for the high stakes grinders out there, this is where RakeLESS Sunday gets super juicy. This Sunday, 888 has boosted their guarantees of the $200 buy-in mega deep to 100K, and the $300 RakeLESS Sunday main event, which also boasts a 100K guarantee, even more interesting to note, is a freeze out. Unlike most online tournaments these days, the RakeLESS Sunday main event is not a re-entry tournament, which means a better fish to reg ratio, a softer tournament, and a better chance to win big this weekend. Let's take a closer look at these tourneys. So first, I want to look at the main event because it's the best spot of the weekend for sure if you can afford it. So it's a $300 buy-in. You start with 50K chips, 12-minute levels. I've looked through the structures of all these tournaments. They're great. You start with between 100 and 200 big blinds, depending on which event it is. And the blind levels are 10, 12, or 15 minutes, which means there's lots of play in these events. And that's one thing that I've always loved about 888 Poker, the Sunday Challenge, and the Mega Deep is that it's a very smooth, progressive structure, which gives you lots of play and allows you to be very patient. So we can see that in the main event, you start with 50K chips, and at 150, 300 big blind, that means you're starting with a little bit over 150 bigs. Quite good. And you can see in the blind structure, they just include every level all the way up, so you're never going to get hit by any unexpected blind jumps. Another thing that's really interesting to note about the main event is the satellites that are running to it. We see that there is a 30-seat guaranteed and a 2-seat guaranteed mega running today and tomorrow. And the reason this is really important to note is that the softness of a tournament is pretty much based on how many satellites they run to the event. The more satellite players there are in an event, generally the softer the tournament's going to be, and the less satellites they run to an event, the more regulars there are going to be in the field, the tougher it's going to be. So I'm just going to show you guys a little calc that you can do to determine kind of the ratio of satellite players to regs in a tournament. So we put in the guaranteed prize pool, 100K, divide by the buy-in of 300, and we see that that means we're expected to get at least 333 people in the tournament. We can see from these two satellites alone that about 10% of the field is going to be satellite players. That's a pretty good number. 10% is pretty good, and 20% or higher is just insane auto must play. The other thing that I noticed when I was going through this lobby, though, is they're running straight up free rolls to this tournament. They're running free rolls with 5 entries, both today and tomorrow. So that's an opportunity to qualify to the tournament for cheap, actually for free. But also it means there's going to be an extra 10 satellite players who are free rollers. So of the 333 people, 10% are going to be satellite players who are in for 30 bucks, and 3% are going to be straight up free rollers. So that's quite a good amount of added value to this tournament. And with it being a freeze out, you know that that's what the ratio is going to be. It's not like you're going to have 4 regs entering every time. because of reentry. So this is the spot that I think is the absolute best. If you can afford it, definitely a great play. If you can't afford it, the satellites, especially this 30-seat guaranteed, should be very soft and very good value. And there's the free rolls as well. Looking at the smaller events, let's jump down to the Sunday PKO. We'll look at kind of the mid-range. Actually, no, let's look at the mini mega deep because this is a pretty solid tournament. So it also has 20 seats guaranteed, and I did some numbers to see that the mini mega is 1,250 players. So this one, you're starting with 30K chips at 250 big blind. That's 120 big. So again, lots and lots of play. And you can see that these blind levels are just super progressive, super smooth. There's one that just has a massive starting stack though. You got 15K in the mega deep, and that's quite long blind levels, 15 minutes. Yeah, 50K in this $80 PKO. That's massive, especially 125 to 50. You start with 200 big blinds in this tournament. That's insane. I think, yeah, it's half bounty. So half bounty prize pool and half regular prize pool. Let's just verify that in the other PKOs, it's the same thing. Yeah, half to the prize pool, half to the bounty prize pool. And I think the mini late mega deep is also a bounty. Yeah, half to the prize pool, half to the bounty. So it's a 50% progressive knockout tournament. And then Sunday challenge, 5K chips, 15-minute levels. So this one you start with a few less chips, but if you look at the blinds, you still start with 150 big blinds. So every single one of these tournaments is very deep stacked. Every single one of these tournaments has tons of late reg. We see 2 hours of late reg, 3 hours of late reg. In the main event, 3 hours of late reg. 2 hours of late reg in the PKO. In the mini mega deep, we have 3 hours of late reg. In the 4 hours of late reg in the mega deep, and in the PKO, 3 hours of late reg. So tons of late reg, tons of time to get in these events. If you can't start your session at noon, but you can get there at like 3-4 o'clock on a Sunday, you're still going to find lots of action with all the satellites that they're running. There's one tournament that has like a 50. Yeah. The Mega Deep has 50 seats guaranteed in satellites. So really good value for if you can afford a $20 buy-in or $30 buy-in. Great satellite opportunity here to a big guarantee, rake-free, deep stack, good structured tournament. And I ran the numbers on this. So again, just we take the guarantee of 100K, divide by 200, which is the buy-in. We see there's going to be 500 entrants in the tournament. And we see just from the mega satellites alone, 10% of the field is going to be satellite players. So really good value in this series, especially in the Sunday Mega Deep and the Sunday main event. I personally was thinking of taking this Sunday off, but seeing this promotion might have changed my mind. There's nothing I love more than playing small field, soft tournaments with great structures, except playing those same tournaments rake free. I've had a lot of people talking to me lately about dealing with frustration with tournaments, saying they make deep runs, but they don't make any money for it. And usually the problem there is that they're playing fields that are too big. And when you play smaller field tournaments, you get to run deep more often, you get to make it to the bubble more often, you get to play shorthanded more often, apply ICM pressure more often, and use all the techniques and strategies that you've learned to make more money. So I really invite you guys to come check out RakeLESS Sunday. 888 poker this weekend. It's small field tournaments, it's great structures, and 888 is known pretty much since online poker started as being one of the softest places to play, and that hasn't changed. So if you'd like to join me this Sunday, you can find me at the 888 tables under the name Gripst. And if you don't have an account on 888 yet, I've put a link in the video description so you can sign up, sit down at the tables, and stack up the chips with myself and Team Gripst. This has been Evan Jarvis wishing you good luck and happy stacking this RakeLESS Sunday. I'll see you at the final table. Let's get stacking.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it educational and entertaining. If you want to join Team Gripst, click on that subscribe button and tap that bell to be notified every time a new video goes live. For behind the scenes updates and motivational quotes from my poker journey, follow me on Instagram. And when you're ready to take one step closer to becoming poker's next champion, click on me in 3, 2, 1, and let's get stacking.